He shouted, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. He shouted. Shouting is one of the most instinctive ways we express ourselves to get someone's attention, to share our excitement, or even to demand action. We shout warnings like, watch out, or cheer joyfully when our team scores. Yes. It is natural, spontaneous, and often uncontrollable. Think about those moments when you are at a wedding, and here, I was at one recently. The priest says, now I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jones. The joy bubbles over, and you can't help but clap and cheer. Or the bittersweet tension of holding back a shout when your child's name is called at a graduation ceremony and everyone has been asked to keep silent until the end. Shouting, as ordinary as it may seem, holds extraordinary power. One of the most pivotal victories in the Bible came through a shout. Picture this. Joshua and the people of Israel face Jericho's imposing, seemingly indestructible walls. And these walls had defied every army that dared to approach them. And God's instruction to Joshua were unconventional. March silently around the city for 6 days, and while the priests played trumpets. On the 7th day, march 7 times, and on the final lap, God commanded them nothing but to shout. The moment they shouted, the impossible happened. Those mighty walls crumbled, collapsing as if swallowed by the earth itself. And it is no coincidence that the healing of the blind man in today's gospel happens right outside the city walls of the same town, Jericho. What brought the walls down wasn't just the noise. It was the obedience to shout when God said to shout. That act of faith, that seemingly simple outcry, carried divine power. Yet in our culture today, we have created unwritten rules about when it is appropriate to shout. At sports events, we roar with abandonment. But in our spiritual lives, we often hold back. Somehow we have absorbed that quiet reverence equates to deeper spirituality, while exuberant praise feels undignified. But the Psalms remind us repeatedly, shout to the Lord with joy. And genuine faith ignites an uncontainable desire to praise, shouts of thanksgiving that burst forth from the depths of our need for God. Take the 10 lepers from the New Testament, afflicted with a disease that ostracized them from society. They didn't wait politely for Jesus to pass by. They shouted desperately, Jesus, Master, have mercy on us. And their cries didn't go unnoticed. They might have missed their healing if they had remained dignified, whispering their plea. But they knew their need and weren't afraid to express it boldly. Today, you and me may carry a burden too heavy to bear alone. Maybe it is time to stop holding back and cry out, to shout to the Lord with all your heart. Consider the story of the blind man in the gospel today. He didn't know the day his world would change. Maybe born with sight, something perhaps an illness or accident had stolen his vision, and suddenly his world went dark. All he had left were the memories of what he had once seen. Life had dealt him an unimaginable blow, but his determination never wavered. When he heard that Jesus was passing by, he shouted relentlessly, refusing to let the opportunity slip away. Would you not shout at the top of your lungs if you were stranded on an island and you saw a ship passing by? Would you not shout at the top of your voice if you fell into a deep pit to get the attention of any passerby? Unexpected setbacks can invade our lives without warning. What seems like an ordinary day can transform into a life-altering disaster. Yet, as the blind man showed us, faith and boldness can restore what was lost, even in our darkest moments. And if you feel overwhelmed today, don't hesitate to let go of your reservations. Shout to the Lord, and He hears every cry. The same power that tore down Jericho's walls can work wonders in our life.